Regarding the war in Ukraine, U.S. and Ukrainian officials say they have made real progress. You just heard from the Secretary of State involving the U.S. plans to end the war in Ukraine. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Angela Brown in for Jan this morning. It's Monday, November 24th, but these talks are not coming without some bumps. Over the weekend, the president lashing out, accusing Ukraine of having zero gratitude. Let's get right over to Mark Boyle at the live desk. We've been, of course, following this all morning, and that deadline is looming. Thursday, I believe, for Ukraine to accept at least some parts of this.
That's right. Thursday's the deadline. So the clock is ticking, and there will be ongoing conversations all week this week, Angela, to make sure everything is set in stone as this plan is coming together to try and put an end to the war between Russia and Ukraine. They've now drafted what's called a refined version of President Trump's 28-point peace plan. Major talks over the weekend in Switzerland pushed a lot of this forward. Here's what we know right now about the plan between Russia and Ukraine. The new security guarantees for Ukraine, of course, would be top of mind, and one of the main points of this, territorial control likely would be given up from Ukraine to Russia. The map, though, still yet to be made ironclad or exact, so that's still being worked out. Also, Ukraine-NATO relationship would be fortified, and then a Ukraine-EU relationship in terms of security guarantees. For example, if all of this goes through and then Russia goes ahead and bombs Ukraine or attacks Ukraine, the EU, the NATO, United States would all get involved at that point. That's part of this big plan here to make sure Ukraine is safe if the deal goes through. President Trump has set Thursday to be that deadline for Ukraine to accept the deal. Yesterday, Secretary of State Marco Rubio signaled that the deadline is possible.
Now, obviously, like any final agreement, they'll have to be agreed upon by the presidents. And there are a couple issues that we need to continue to work on. But I think the report today is that I think today was worthwhile. It was very, very, it is probably the most productive day we have had on this issue. Maybe in the entirety of our engagement, but certainly in a very long time.
Rubio did add a possible call between Trump and Zelensky could happen this week, soon. The president of Ukraine yesterday said he is grateful for the United States and the president's efforts to end the war. A lot to monitor this morning and throughout the week. We'll do it for you right here at the live desk.